Wow, unbelievable. Robson fights and beats Oscar Valdez, who's on steroids, then get robbed. Boxing corruption is at an all-time high. And the WBC, the commission, they all need to be investigated. So Oscar Valdez tested positive for steroids. And instead of the WBC stripping him of the WBC belt, along with the commission suspending him for taking PEDs, instead they did the complete opposite by approving the fight. And to make matter worse, they defended him by blaming it on herbal tea, where Oscar Valdez failed to submit the herbal tea to the testing agency. He never submitted this herbal tea that supposedly gave him the drug phentermine. You know why that is? Because there is no tea in the world that has phentermine in it, which is why that excuse is more shameful than him actually cheating. I mean, in the Olympics, they suspend track stars for smoking weed when they only harming themselves. However, boxing is the wild, wild west. Even though this is a sport where you can physically kill your opponent, they allow fighters to fight even when they test positive for steroids. Then, to put icing on the cake, the WBC and the commission covered up for Oscar Valdez missing weight. I kid you not. Even after taking banned substance to make the weight, he still missed weight. Then a day later, which is tonight, they turn around and completely robbed Robson Conceição, who outlanded Oscar Valdez 141 punches to 83 punches. Robson outlanded Valdez with 58 punches, nearly doubling his landed punches. And one judge had it 117 to 110 for Oscar Valdez. That scorecard was written before the fight even started. That's what you call a Canelo Alvarez type of scorecard. Completely laughable and disgraceful to the sport of boxing. I mean, just look at their faces. That scorecard should have been the other way around. It's so sad the fact that Robson put his life on the line and accepted a fight with a cheater in Oscar Valdez, knowing he's on steroids, just to get robbed at the end of the night. You know the fix was in when Robson got a point taken away for tapping Oscar Valdez's head by this corrupted WBC referee without any warning for literally tapping his head. They were not punches, but when Oscar Valdez hit Robson with legit rabbit punches on purpose, the referee warned him twice without taking any points away. The corruption is real. The WBC stands for We Be Cheating, the World Boxing Corruption Organization. At this moment in time, the corruption done went so far, something have to be done. Then Oscar Valdez had the audacity to say that Robson was running. But ironically, his last fight with Purcell, he was running the whole fight. So I guess Oscar Valdez could run, but his opponent shouldn't be allowed to run. Man, give Oscar Valdez some milk because he needs some. That's so silly to say because Robson had his best work when he actually stood his ground. And when he chose to move around, Oscar Valdez was punching the air all night. He was shadowboxing. As you all see above, I actually picked Robson to win just by seeing his highlights and knowing he was a gold medalist. Now, how sad is it? Oscar Valdez took steroids, ducked Shakur Stevenson, and still lost. Old media and his team could protect him all they want. However, Oscar Valdez is so average, he can get beat at any given night. So might as well let Shakur Stevenson smash this cheater and let's keep it moving. It's time for Oscar Valdez to find his cojones somewhere. How can you be a duck on steroids? That's embarrassing. And no, I don't believe Oscar Valdez is fighting Shakur because he said that last time, then ducked the fight. Shakur was supposed to be fighting Oscar Valdez tonight. With the facts being laid out, here is the conversation of Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward checking Mark for defending Oscar Valdez for cheating.
We spent about an hour on camera, and when it was done, Oscar turned to me and said, "Do you believe me?" So here are the facts. He wanted the VADA testing. He insisted on it. He tested positive in his second test, this time, August 12th. It's conceivable that it happened like he thinks it did with some sort of diet tape. Does not get him off the hook. But am I prepared to throw away all the good stuff he did and all the heroism he's had for the past, I don't know how many years, for one test? In my heart, no, I'm not.
Mark, the question I have for you is: should he be fighting tonight? That's the question I have for you tonight.
Don't hold him responsible for the WBC's inconsistencies and cynicism.
Mark, anybody else test positive for anything, they're not fighting tonight, and they're also being stripped.
Is that his fault?
Is it his fault? He's the one that's got the positive test. That's what I'm trying to tell you. No, I don't know what you're saying. That's the positive test that he got. Yes, he shouldn't be allowed to fight tonight, and that's the only problem I have with
Tell
this
the
tonight.
WBC, man.
So, the WBC already know how I feel about him. They already know.
Listen,
Man,
the WBC made the decision that they made, but we wouldn't be in this position if Oscar Valdez didn't test positive. So we can't keep like moving the goalposts, y'all. It is what it is. Oscar tested positive. Many don't believe that he should be fighting tonight. He is, and we're going to call this fight just like it would be any other fight. But we got to let what's happening sit. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in, Bernardo, you mentioned this earlier in the week about a person rehabilitating themselves and getting forgiveness, and I believe that wholeheartedly, but trust is earned. And Oscar Valdez, it's going to take some time before he builds up the trust with people.
And we've seen it happen with his stablemate, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And we've seen it also with Tyson Fury, who's going to be fighting Deontay Wilder in October.